To the 22 Stage 2 Parent Information Zoom. Sorry, we have a little bit of technical difficulties with the sound. I don't know if you can hear the double bouncing off each other. Mr. Springmore is working very, very hard to correct it. Hopefully it's much better now. So welcome to the 22 school year. We are delighted to be teaching a Stage 2 class at Reesby South this year. We are looking forward to getting to know you and your families, being aware of what your child is being taught and the program design, very important. This Parent Information Zoom aims to give you a better understanding of the types of procedures and programs that are happening in the school and classroom. As you are aware, by now your child is in a Stage 2 class located in the H block. There are 4 classes. In 4 yellow, that's me. I am the new assistant principal here at Reesby South Public School, and I'm very, very delighted to be here and be part of your community. We have in 4 green Mrs. Fullerton, and she also has a prac student, Mrs. Seeger, that will be assisting her this term. In 3 red, Miss Lee sends her apologies as she is unwell and unable to attend tonight. And then we have 3 blue, Miss Pincaro and her student. The Stage 2 subjects this term in Stage 2 will be engaging in exciting learning throughout the year. And below are some examples of the learning that will be taking place. And these are just the key areas. So in English, we have visual literacy, where we are going to create imaginative text based on characters, settings and events from students' own and other cultures using visual features. For example, characterisation, rhyme, rhythm, mood, music, sound effects and dialogue. And the children are so engaged at the moment with our visual literacy and what we're doing in English so far this term. In maths, we are differentiating our mathematics program using the current syllabus and the numeracy progressions in working mathematically, number and algebra, measurement, geometry, statistics and probability. In creative arts, we're doing an artist study and we're looking at Jeannie Baker. She uses collage techniques and we're going to emulate some of her designs in class. In geography, we're doing the Earth's environment, where we're looking at natural features of Australia and the world, continents, countries, and comparing and contrasting these natural features of Australia and specific countries. In science and technology, we're doing Earth's changing surface. In this unit, students will investigate how and why natural processes and human actions change the surface over time. We'll identify evidence of change through exploring rocks and fossils and investigate how erosion is caused by human activity. If your children are coming home, especially this afternoon from my class, they are probably searching for a rock to bring to school tomorrow. And I've just encouraged them to bring one rock so we can analyse and have a look at the rock and the different types of textures, size and shape. So that's why they're coming home with a rock, which goes nicely with our science and technology unit. In PDHE, we are looking at why empathy, inclusion and respect is important in our relationships. And that works really well with our positive education program as well. There are some assignments that will begin in the classroom to develop the children's understanding and skills in cooperative group work, research, locating and summarising information, interpreting information into their own words, presentation, graphics, content, grammar, punctuation and spelling. I'm sure you can appreciate that when children are set an assignment, we have to model what that would look like, what would all the different aspects of an assignment is taught in the classroom, and then when we feel confident that the children can then work independently at home, we will set assignments. Usually assignments are set around either our English or our science or geography units of work. Could even be creative arts this term. So watch this space because there will be assignments that will be sent home.
All right, so just a little bit of information about some support that's provided to our stage. So this year we will have support teachers coming to the classrooms during the morning sessions, targeting small groups, especially in literacy and English. So we have Mr. Springle, Miss Fitzgerald, and Mrs. Markovsky. Now this is what they're calling COVID funding. So it's a funding initiative supported from the Department of Education for this year. We had a bit of it last year, but it's a program that's been provided just to help boost the learning in the classroom from perhaps some gaps that we've had over the last few years. It's just to help boost those children who just need that extra push to get them up to the next level. In addition to the support in the classroom, all the teachers differentiate English as well as maths, with the purpose of extending as well and helping those children who may need that extra help. For example, reading groups, we call them fluid groups, so there is room for movement. So your child might say they're in a particular group one week and then the next week it might be different. And some of you may be aware of the Rock and Water program. So this will continue with groups based on students with behavioural needs and those with anxiety. So if your child has been, flagged for this program, you will be notified of it. Equipment. So thank you so much for all the equipment that you've sent in. We've got a great
so much
updated supply of sanitizer and wipes and tissue boxes and paper rolls, which definitely come in handy.
Where was it all 2 years ago?
So thank you for bringing them in, but I think we're okay at the moment. Later on in the year, we might send out a note to replenish those supplies. But just please make sure that your child's equipment is labelled. That includes their personal items, like their hats and jumpers, because as you know, they come off, they go missing, don't want that. So just please make sure that they are labelled. And if you could please also assist in sending your child with headphones, earphones in a labelled bag, so they don't get tangled, but also because, especially for year 3, that we do use the laptops and technology for nap plans. So please ensure that your child has headphones, and a mouse is also handy. But yes, again, also please have them labelled.
And it gets them into practice once they start using the headphones, for everyday learning. When it comes to nap plan, it's not a foreign thing that they're using, and they feel at ease then. It's a smooth transition into the nap plan test.
Okay, so moving over to technology, BYOD. As I'm sure lots of you, particularly in Year 4, would all know that we have a BYOD program happening at our school. If you're in Year 3, if you're a Year 3 parent, it's probably new to you, but we're embracing you to bring your own device so we can also help enrich their learning for all of us. Electronic devices are used to promote genuine learning, research, problem solving, positive communication. Whether we all like it or not, it's here to stay. So what we're trying to encourage you, if you feel comfortable, have your child bring in a device. It used to only be iPads. Now it is any device, obviously not a phone, and we can connect them up to the Wi-Fi. What we find, it actually helps us do lots more learning with group work and collaboration. We're implementing 21st century learning strategies. We do have a set of computers at our stage, so we do have roughly 30. So we share them amongst the 4 classes. So we do have times when we have computers, but there are other times when we might just need a few, and we can all have some group work, collaborative rotations. So it is really important if we can have your child bring it in.
And there's a contract with that.
Yep.
A note that will follow.
Yep. Yes. So the note should go after tonight. You will actually have a note that you'll have to sign, like a contract with your child. Basically, it's their own responsibility. So we suggest Monday to Thursday, not on a Friday, because of sport, just so they're not left in their bags. And if they've got to go to PWSA, you've got to take it around with them. We don't want it dropped. We don't want them cracked. We don't want them broken. Obviously, it's their own responsibility too. The biggest thing we're having at the moment, the issue I'm having, is children are bringing their devices in and not having it charged. We only have limited charge, so we can't constantly have to charge them. We do have wireless internet, so it's all going to be available, and we do have when you do get the form sent home, there are some apps on there that we would like you to have already downloaded. So it'll contain a list of required apps. They're all free. The students are not expected to know how to use all these apps. They will be taught that at school, and teachers will we can always make sure that everything's on there. If it's not there that day, we can ring you or contact you. The student agreement and expectation matrix is just the same as our school, plan.
Behaviour.
Be safe, be respectful, and be an active learner. So obviously, if they break any of those rules while they are using those devices, unfortunately, there will be consequences. So obviously, we do monitor it just like we always do. They're not allowed to take it out in the playground. They can't use it at lunchtime. And obviously, they can't get onto sites they're not allowed to get onto. So we do monitor that very carefully as well. Have I forgotten anything about that? Nothing about it? No? Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Excursions and incursions. Excursions will go ahead, once again, depending on the COVID situation. Excursions will take place later this year and will relate closely to the theme studied in class. The general excursion will be advised, like whatever we decide, like I'm not sure if there's one happening this term, probably not, but there might be one at the start of next term. There will be a stage 2 camp that's been booked tentatively for term 4 in week 6, the 14th and the 15th of November, overnight camp, and it's a visit to Kincumber Bush Camp. And a note, obviously, will go home detailing all the things that you need to know about this overnight excursion. It's just so much fun, and it's all about outdoor, developing their outdoor skills, developing cooperative group work, working as a team member, learning how to attempt new skills that they haven't done before. So it's really, really worthy of this excursion to Kincumber. Homework, as you know, here at Revesby South Public School is not compulsory. It is not evaluated in any formal reports from the school. The class teacher will still send homework with the school and the Department of Education policy guidelines. With homework this term, we've decided to set homework on a fortnightly basis. If your child is having difficulty with homework, please encourage them to see their classroom teacher for assistance. Homework should not be left until the last minute, as the homework cannot be completed in one night, and children are encouraged to complete an average of about 20 minutes a night, and that would include reading as well. Reading, as you would appreciate, is one of the essential things that the children can be doing at home. They can read in the car, they can read in their own time at home, when you're travelling to and from different sporting events. It's just so essential that the children read every night. We will be providing homework based on study ladder, which is to be utilised for homework this term, and the logins will be provided and the activities will be differentiated. So if you have any feedback on homework, please let us know.
So a little bit of information about notes and money. So just please ensure that any envelopes that are sent in are clearly labelled with your child's name and their class, and just to ensure that due dates, they're brought in before the due dates. And also please make sure that you have the Revesby South School app installed in your devices. This just helps to keep up to date with what's happening at school.
And just on that, just remember last year, Mr. Whitten has always been quite lenient with a lot of, lap dates and payments being lapsed, but he got a little bit stricter last year. I think you'll find this year will be the same. So, if there's a date that the money has to be returned, just try and get that note in as soon as possible. And obviously, if you're having problems, please go to the office and speak to them.
And so please keep up to date with any money that needs to be handed in through school bag, even on this website. Sometimes it's also put up through the school Facebook app. And so that just goes on to contributions and educational costs. Notes have been sent home, so we would appreciate your cooperation to make these payments as soon as possible. And yeah, as we've already mentioned, just there are various forms of where you can get your information from regarding what is happening at school out there. Yes.
All right, moving on to school welfare. I'm sure lots of you already know the systems that's been in place at Revesby South for a long time now. Students have school rules to follow in and out of the classroom, and they are expected to follow the policy. We have rules up all over the school and in our classrooms to ensure that the students know exactly what they have to do. Now, we do try and give them lots of warnings. We do lots of strategies to ensure that this doesn't happen, and it doesn't happen a lot. We're very lucky at Revesby South. I know you can probably say coming to this school, you're a bit shocked at that.
Look, it's fantastic. The school welfare program that you have here, and I'm so glad I'm a part of it now. But the children here, especially in stage 2, have been absolutely delightful, and we haven't had any serious issues. Knock on wood.
So yes, so I'm sure all of you also know about our merit certificate, our merit system. So we will give out 4 awards each week to the classroom teacher will. There'll also be a library award and a RFF award, and then 2 sport awards a week, which includes your PWSA when that eventually, if it eventually happens. Now, once you've obviously also know that once they get 3, they go to a bronze award, 6, they go to a silver award, and 10, they go to a gold award. Obviously, and then it says students will be recognised in our school assembly in the Friendly Link newsletter. And I don't know, well, because of last year with COVID, I'm assuming that'll all start up again. That's something, watch this space. And as the next slide will just say, the next slide will actually tell you this is what's actually in our classrooms. So be safe, be respectful, and be an active learner. The students know this. We go through it. We are regularly referring back to it, and their awards are generally based around these 3 as well. That's all that's all the good things about it all. Then, of course, there's the actions and consequences. Now, we're not going to have any of these problems on stage 2 because we are also fantastic and so well behaved, so that you won't even have to look at this. But unfortunately, at times they do. They might have to have a consequence. Generally, it's because they've been warned and warned and warned. At this school, we do have, so on the next slide, you'll actually see we have a warning system. So sorry, the next one. Yeah. So parents may have to meet us at some point. We'll just have to, it literally depends on the child. It depends on what the actual level they have been put on. But at this school, we do have the yellow level, the orange level, and then there's the red level. The students have also been told why and all the things that they are referred to of what they do. If they do go on a level, they sit under the collar, and they'll be supervised by a teacher there. It's actually time for reflection, and it's time to understand what they have done.
And so when a child is put on a level, a letter will be sent home to the parents notifying you of the incident. That note needs to then be signed by parent and sent back to the school to know, that
just to acknowledge it.
Yeah. Yes.
And obviously it goes on our central system, and then we will get in touch with the parents. Obviously, it's an ongoing event, but that's not going to happen on stage 2, so it doesn't really matter.
Right, school uniform. Just clear. Please ensure that your child wears full school uniform each day, including a school hat, as our policy is no hat, no play. Headbands, ribbons, hair clips, etc. need to be in school colours. Socks above the ankle. Black shoes Monday to Thursday. Sports uniform on a Friday, and just to be wary about jewellery and nail polish, as often jewellery is lost, and small stone sleepers are encouraged. Just for the sake.
Just on that, with our school uniform, we're having we've had quite a few children coming in with the new not Apple watches, but the watches where they can actually make calls from. We've had a couple of students actually make calls on the playground to their mums. So that is not part of our school uniform. So I'm going to encourage those to be kept home as well, please.
Yeah. And watches that have games on them as well. It's just a distraction in the class. Yeah. And I know how valuable it is to a child. And if they lose it, we had one child lose their watch in the playground just last week, and she was so upset. So just those special watches and games, and just to be kept at home. Okay, absences. Regular attendance is compulsory for every student. While parents are legally responsible for the regular attendance of their children, school staff, as part of their duty of care, record and monitor part of the whole day and part and whole day absences. Due to COVID-19, any cold flu symptoms shown means that a child must be kept at home and they must be COVID tested. Students can return once they have received a negative result. In the event of your child is sick and unable to attend school, you must by law provide an explanation to the school upon return or within 7 days from the first day of any period of absence by means such as a telephone call, a written note, or an email. The 7-day time frame for explaining absences is a requirement from the Education Act. We've noticed lately that some children have been absent and they have returned to school without an explanation as to why. Those students have been sent home a special note from the office, and we give you those notes. Please take your time to write down the reason why the child was absent and then return it to the classroom teacher. We would really appreciate that because we have to monitor all the absences. School commences at 9:15. If your child is late, parents must take their child to the office and receive a late note before returning to class. Punctuality is a life skill. Setting up morning and evening routines to ensure your child is at school on time. Bad habits lead to engagement issues. If your child is complaining of a headache or a tummy ache, please follow up. Don't fall into the trap of keeping them at home. Please remain positive about school with your child. You must work in partnership with the school to plan and implement strategies to support regular attendance at school. This includes communicating with the school if you are aware of issues impacting on your child's attendance or engagement with school. Finally, if you're planning on taking holidays during the school term, please fill in a leave form from the office. Please be mindful that when your child arrives late in the morning, that's when all the morning talks take place. That's when we set up the day, we explain to them all the routines that's happening. That's when we mark the roll. That's when we collect the notes and the money. All of that is done, and then we go straight into our unit of work, which is usually English. So every time your child is late, they are missing those vital instructions, those interactions with the children before they come into school as well. So we really encourage to be on time when school commences. We are here to help. Hoping the above has given you a clear understanding of the 22 school year. If you have any concerns throughout the year, please don't hesitate to arrange a suitable time with your child's teacher by contacting the office and leaving a brief message, or your child can bring a note to their child's teacher. Please return your call. We will return your call at the earliest convenience.
Or you can actually send an email to the school office, the info.
Yep.
Info at Reesby.
Yep. Info at Reesby. That will help us as well. Thank you very much, parents, for attending our parent information afternoon. We really appreciate.
Thank you.
It's a shame that it's via Zoom and we haven't been able to see you face to face. We do see a couple of parents when it's not raining over at the gate, and we appreciate seeing them, saying hi and having a general chat with you. Thank you for attending. We hope that we have a positive year with your child, and any issues or any questions that you'd like to discuss, please do.
Does anyone have any questions now they'd like to ask?
Is that a question?
I have a question. What's the Reesby South School app? Do you mean the school bagger?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right. I just wasn't sure because my daughter's only started there this year.
Oh, yeah, yes. Just go into the school bag. If you download it, it's okay.
Oh, yeah, I've got it. I just wasn't sure if there was another one as well.
No,
okay. All right, thanks.
And everything goes to an email as well. So once you actually get it on the app, you'll actually get an email that always goes to my email as well. So you get quite a bit too.
Yeah.
Somebody just messaged and said, how do we get in touch with the teachers? Like we said, if you just want to drop a note in with your child, or you can go to or go through the office, or if you'd like to email the school, and then the school can pass it on to the teachers. Yes. And then we will be in touch when we can.
Yeah, just please contact the office or send a note in with your child. That would be the best way, and then we will endeavour to return your call and contact you at our earliest convenience.
Any other questions? No?
Did we mention Mr. Springle? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, he's
Yes.
one of our learning
Yes.
support teachers.
Mr. Springle is here trying to help us with recording this Zoom session as well for us, and he's a vital part of our stage 2 support teachers. He's helping quite a few classes this year in his new role, and we really appreciate all the hard work that he does for us as well.
Just one more question. Is NAPLAN compulsory?
NAPLAN, we encourage all students to attend the NAPLAN test. There are some circumstances where a child is unable to do a NAPLAN test, but other than that, yes, it is compulsory unless you've spoken to Mr. Witten and had some arrangements or some other dialogue about the NAPLAN test. But yes, we encourage all students to attend and sit the NAPLAN test.
Questions just come through about the swimming carnival. A note went home today, as well as on the school bag app, that it has been cancelled. So that's all the details are in the note of what they're actually going to do, because the district carnival's next week. So what's sent home with your child, it's on school bag as well. Plus there was just on school bag. Just on school bag and sent an email out to parents. The swimming carnival is definitely cancelled. And there's just another question about extracurriculum activities with choir and dance and PWSA, all of those things. We're all just on hold for a couple of weeks because they're looking at the COVID restrictions in the school settings being changed in a couple of weeks. How that looks, we don't know. That's why PWSA at the moment has been pushed back to week 9, and that's why choir and dance, which is Miss Pinkara and myself doing those things, we haven't been able to start it up yet until we get official confirmation that we're actually allowed to. So watch this space. As soon as we know, we will always communicate it directly with the children. We give up our lunch times, they come to us, and you will get a note sent home. So once all those things start up again, you'll be the second to know. I think that's all the questions. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to ask before we hang up on you?
If you think of anything else, you can always send a note in with your child, and we'll endeavour to answer it and contact you. You will be given a recording of this session as well. So if you were unable to make it or a partner wasn't unable to make it, there will be a recording of this session too.
Homework will be starting next week. After we've all just explained it to the parents, now we can start it. So it will start next week.
Yeah, so Study Ladder is online. It's a free program, but you don't need to pay for it. They just need a login, which we will provide.
Okay, I hope we've covered everything.
Well, thank you, parents, once again. Thank you very much. We'll see you later, and we hope to see you in person next time.
We miss you all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take care. All the
See you
very
later.
best.
Bye. Bye.